Welcome to Playing in Traffic today, everyone. We would just like to say namaste. Thank you for being present here with us. Stop laughing, Tony. I invite you all to take a nice deep breath. Just melt into your body. Become aware of the way your body feels. And welcome to our podcast. I don't even think I said what we were going to talk about.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Hi, everybody.
Hi. I know you're wondering who our mystery guest is, and it was me. It's Lindsey.
They had no idea.
I know. I sound totally different. That's my work voice. Guys, today we're starting off our new 2023 healing episodes.
Did you guys know that we have our very own LMT in the house? Does anybody know what that is? Because I didn't until just a few minutes ago. It's a licensed massage therapist.
I'm Lindsey. I'm a licensed massage therapist, and today I'm here on your podcast.
I want to know all about massage therapy for PTSD or for trauma, because you know what? When I think about massage therapy or going to get a massage, I think about a bachelorette party or something that happens like once a year, once every few years.
That's what you think of as a bachelorette party?
Well, no, like if I think about getting a massage, I think about like it's a special occasion, like a wedding.
Okay,
like
a bridal party.
Right. Okay. Sorry. I was in a cult for a decade. I don't know the correct terminations.
It's just so fun. Bachelor parties like strippers, penis necklaces.
God, that's what bachelor parties are about. Anyway, when I think about a massage, I think about something extravagant, something only for a special occasion, not something that I would do on a regular basis. I would never imagine doing massage on a regular basis. It would seem like overly pampering myself, or it would seem diva-ish to say that I want to get a massage regularly in my mind, you know? So can you explain to us about how massage therapy is helpful in healing ways?
Yes, I would love to. Hi, thank you so much for having me on your podcast.
This is fun. You really just want to be the guest.
Yeah, I'm the guest today. So
okay. You are a guest. Lindsey is our guest.
Yeah, and the other Lindsey, she couldn't make it. So yes, I agree with what you're saying. I think also in America, probably in other countries too, it's not really incorporated as like a medical treatment. And so we view it as this like extravagant add-on that you come from a place of privilege to be able to even afford because it's expensive.
Did you get into massage therapy?
Ooh, great question, Tony. When I was a senior in high school, I was having a mental breakdown.
Yeah, that's kind of early for a mental breakdown.
And I was like, I need to go to therapy. I need to do all the self-help things. And I was like, I think people get massages when they're having mental breakdowns. And then I went and I got one. And the whole time I was thinking, this is the nicest thing anyone has ever done for me. It was just such a beautiful experience. And I hadn't really like done a lot of yoga, any other sort of body work. And so that was my first moment of just like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. I love this. I had never really tapped into that yet. And afterwards, I was like, I want to go to massage school. I want to go on a cruise and give massages to people and travel the world. Like I had this whole idea. But
look at the White Lotus. Sorry.
I know, right? Then I found out that I was pregnant. That's why I was having a mental breakdown.
Oh.
I was just pregnant. I was fine, guys. I just was pregnant, and I didn't realize that I was pregnant, so I thought that I was having a mental breakdown. Yeah, so anyways, massage school got put on hold for a little bit because I needed to figure out how to make that happen. And then after working a bunch of jobs that I just like hated every day, just not my jams. Working in an office was like being in jail for me. So anyways, later in life when it happened, I was able to go to massage school, become a massage therapist. I've loved every minute of it. As soon as I did it and started going to school, I was like, yeah, this is definitely way more my scene, my tribe.
Can you explain how massage therapy can be used to treat people who are going through mental breakdowns, people who are going through trauma, people who might be having trouble with some type of mental illness or anything like that? You spoke about body work. Can you explain what that is? We hear that word a lot, body work.
Yeah.
Be in your body, be connected to your body. And I know that when I was in the cult, I was definitely not connected to my body. I was disconnected. And I think that they did that purposely. I think
Yeah.
that that's part of the tactics. So yeah. So what is body work?
Body work, all of it. It's therapies and techniques that go with complementary medicine that involve touching or manipulating the body. I imagine when you are leaving a cult, there's such a disconnect with what's going on in your mind and what's physically going on in your body. Pointing out that there's something that you can do to reclaim your body back, since being in a cult is almost like being taken out, like you say, like your cult identity. There's something out there that can be helpful of making you feel sort of one with yourself again. And like yoga is really good. Like I imagine, I imagine these are like similar experiences. One of the things that happens when you get a massage is you get that endorphin outside of just being able to relax and reconnect in like a not so much scientific way, but like a spiritual-ish. God, I hate to say that word, but if you want it to be that for you, it can be to reconnect your mind and your body. I imagine for me, massage time is like the only time that I can really slow down my thoughts and like check in with my body and really like make the two one for a little bit of time and like really feel how my body is feeling, but also like feel it in connection with my thoughts, because there's not a lot of time throughout the day that we really do that. I think that people get caught up in that, like maybe who have insomnia, like it's maybe hard or chronic pain. There's a lot of that going on, but it feels very like festery or painful. It's not like a good experience. And so massage creates a space where you can do that in like a safer space. When you get a massage, you release endorphins like a runner's high. It decreases cortisol levels and it increases your serotonin levels. So I did some like clinical study searches to get like the latest and greatest for this episode for my interview with you on playing in traffic. And I found a really good one, and it was just released like a few days before I went searching for it. And so January of 2023. So this is like the most updated, accurate information I could get. And the name of the article, a preliminary descriptive report of the longevity of effects of a Swedish massage for subjects with general anxiety disorder.
Ooh.
And it's published in 2023, January, volume 33 of the Journal of Bodywork and Movement Therapies. Okay. So what they did was they took people with general anxiety, they put them on a regimen, 12 weeks of massage for 2 times a week. And they found that for most of them, the positive benefits that they received from that initial set of the 12 weeks lasted for over a year after the treatment.
Wow. Would you say that that's a lot? Like that's an intensive treatment?
That's intensive treatment, but that's what
But it's such a long-term result. That's amazing results.
it is. And so that's sort of the disconnect, right? Is like typically someone would go in and get a massage once every few months to like once every 6 months to once a year, right? If you're
Where it doesn't even really affect you because it's not frequent enough.
You feel good after, you feel relaxed, right? But like the clinical benefits of it, you're not going to really be able to measure those unless you're doing an intensive, like you're treating something. So that's a very Western science approach to it. And that's what I'm really interested in, like researching is the how are we scientific? Because I feel like we can't incorporate this into Western medicine. There's no expectation for insurance companies to cover this until there's quantitative like research done on it to point at a study and be like, look, this
This
works.
is a great study, though. I hope this
Yeah.
study
So I think
makes a
we're
difference.
going in the right direction. I think that we are sort of realizing as a society that we could use this as preventative care, but we're not there yet. So, like everything, it takes time.
So just theoretically, 2 massages a week for 12 weeks. How much would that cost? Just an average person just going to get a Swedish massage.
So
What do you
expensive.
think?
That would be
Yeah.
probably $200 a week for 12 weeks.
$200 a week. So $2,400. Okay, but that is very expensive. But if the results last for a year and a half, that's you would have to weigh that, right? Because that might be worth it.
It would, but also want to point this out. This is a complementary medicine, so this is not in lieu of other treatments, right? If you have generalized anxiety and you're on medicine for it, like it's not the alternative of like get off your medicine and just go get a massage
Absolutely,
and
right.
everything will be better. This is like complementary to existing treatments.
I've heard that when you get a massage, there are certain times they may massage a certain part of your body and it can cause an emotional reaction such as crying, laughing, some emotional release. Have you ever heard about that?
I have heard about that. I remember when I learned about it in school, I was like, that sounds wacky.
They taught you that in school. They taught you that that could happen.
Yeah, because a lot of when you're in school, they're teaching you how it's like a super vulnerable scenario, right? Like you say, take your clothes off, I'll be back when you're naked. There's a big power dynamic that happens in a room. Um, so of course there's people like I know for some people massage is like too uncomfortable. It's like a situation they're never going to put themselves in.
Especially if you're leaving a cult, like, oh my God, I have to take off my clothes. Last time I did this, I got baptized.
You know, right? And the like sexual traumas would be really,
Yeah,
there's a lot
right.
of trauma where I could see massage being like your last idea of like a relaxing scenario for you. So we learn in school, we talk a lot about that power dynamic and having respect for that and being able to keep yourself within your own bubble so that when you walk into a room and you start like touching another person, you're not giving them like the shit going on in your life and you're not absorbing their shit, right? Because I mean, let's just say I believe that there's an energetic exchange between everybody can feel it. The mood shifts when someone's pissed off and you can like feel yourself kind of going with it if you're someone who picks up on stuff like that.
But did the school say why that would happen?
The idea behind it is like when trauma happens, we tense up. And if you have chronic trauma or like if your body is storing this trauma in your body, when you go to relax a muscle and it finally releases, there could be like an association in your memory of like, oh, I've been holding that back for so long, and it might not be like specific, like, oh, that's the trauma from when I was 11 or whatever, you might not, it's not like this immediate acknowledgement of like where it's coming from. You're just like, oh my gosh, that was something, right? Um, and so it happened in front of all of us. We were practicing one day in school, and the whole room started crying with this person because it all came out like
So what happened? She was getting massaged.
yeah, and then she just blurted out this really intense story, and then she was like, I don't know why I did that. And then the teacher was like, let's talk about emotional release because that's what that was. And we were all crying and we were all like hugging each other, right? Like in that moment, I was like, I think I'm in a cult, but I like it. And then the teacher used that as a moment to be like, when you're in your room, like when you're practicing on the general population, you all failed at protecting yourself from this because it affected you guys all so deeply what just happened to her. And you have to learn, you're going to have to learn how to bubble yourself away from that. So that was a
Right.
really cool things that I learned in school that I get to use in my everyday life. I mean, I'm not great at it, but I'm supposed to know how to do it.
So for the person who experienced trauma, it's about releasing those traumas from our body, like
Right.
totally releasing it out of our body and being vulnerable enough to do that.
Right. I mean, you can imagine like when something happens, we tense up our body. And if
Mhm.
and if you've been holding on to a tense muscle for like, all of your 20s, and then one day somebody comes in at just the right angle and they like release this muscle that's been tense that you didn't even know was happening. I mean, just the relief of it maybe could even make somebody like emotional. So it's pretty cool.
When you go to get a massage, you do feel very vulnerable. What is actually happening to your body?
That is such a great question, Tony.
Thank you.
I'm so glad you asked. Relaxation response is triggered. So that's when your heart and your breathing slow down, your blood pressure goes down, your stress hormones decrease, and your muscles start to relax. Um, and then there's another response called the mechanical response, and that's when your blood and lymph circulation increase from just the movement of like manipulating the tissue on your body. Um, it relaxes and normalizes the soft tissue, which is like muscle, connective tissue, tendons, ligament, and then it releases nerve and deeper connective tissues underneath that muscle. So by relaxing the top layers of your muscle, you can actually like alleviate pressure off of your nerves.
Okay, so if I want to go get a massage, I'm looking at the menu and they have so many options. I don't know which one is which. I don't know what I should pick. Can you tell me about the different types of massages that could be beneficial?
So there's 7 main types of massage modalities.
Wow, that's a lot.
We've got Swedish. Swedish massage is the Western typical what you think of when you see the like brochures of someone having a massage laying on the table. That's where they'll use like hot stone massage, they'll add in essential oil, and that's just like a medium pressure, full body usually like relaxation massage where they'll just get in there and knead your muscles. Then we have Thai massage. So Thai is traditional, but it originated in India 7,000 years ago. So it's like a really ancient practice. They call it lazy man's yoga. Imagine being put into different yoga poses, but like passive yoga
Do you
poses.
know
So
how to do this one?
yeah, half of my training was in Western massage and then my other half was in Thai massage.
Cool.
On my bucket list to go to Thailand and do like an actual Thai certification in Thailand. But it improves range of motion and increases energy. You are being massaged, but you're also being put into yoga poses and stretched. It's really cool. I love Thai massage. Then you have sports massage. And this is going to be more of what would be covered with insurance because this is more I got into a car accident, I hurt my neck. I need to go have like this specific area worked on. Reflexology. So this is when you apply pressure to points on your feet, ears, or hands, or all of them. And these correspond with organs, zones in your body. So they found versions of reflexology in like Egyptian, Indian, Native American cultures. A lot of ancient cultures had some sort of reflexology-like practice. So this one is not like scientifically effective medical treatment. You know, they're not like fixing diabetes with reflexology, but it may reduce stress and psychological symptoms. And it's not harmful, so you're not going to hurt yourself with it, and it can cause like a reduction in stress. So deep tissue massage, deeper pressure. But if you try to dig down into the deeper layers of muscle without really like working on the top layer first, it can cause discomfort after. It does feel sore and painful. Sometimes it can cause headaches, sleeplessness, and inflammation if it's not done correctly. So when you do a deep tissue massage on someone, you don't want to see them for the first time ever and like try to stick your hand in their psoas muscle, you know.
Mm.
Your body has to be in that relaxation response before you could ever like get to the next layers. Yeah, but some people enjoy that. Some people feel like they didn't get a good massage unless they leave sore. This is where like trigger point therapy would come in. If you have a chronic muscle that you're using over and over again, or you have some sort of injury to it, a, a piece of the fiber will stay in that contracted motion while the rest of it like goes, you know, like every time you move a muscle, it's like contracting and then releasing, contracting, releasing. If there's some sort of dysfunction to that muscle, a little fiber within the muscle will actually stay in contraction mode while the rest of it releases. And it creates a trigger point. It creates a little knot, right? You think of knots, like those are painful. You can feel them putting pressure on those for like 5 to 10 seconds, you know, and kind of massaging it a little bit will tell the muscle fiber to go back into like relaxed mode because it's not the whole muscle structure that's stuck. It's like a piece of the fiber of the muscle. It's so funky.
And you can feel that little piece.
And I haven't even said the word fascia one time, and it's so important. Fascia is the connective tissue that connects all of your muscle structures together. So it's like one big long web that sits over the top of the last layer of your muscle, in between like your skin and your muscle. And so sometimes when you feel that like crunchy, bumpy, like bunchy feeling, it's actually your fascia like kind of bundled up. So massage can help sort of smooth that back out and bring some fluid back to it, like through like lymph fluid and well, yeah, through like muscle circulation and all of that. You're like getting the fluid back in between the layers of fascia and the muscle structure. The fascia is actually where the pain receptors are like way higher. So your muscles feel like they hurt, but it could be like bunched up fascia that's like kind of stuck over like a dysfunctional section of muscle movement. Shiatsu. All parts of the body are used for massage in this. And this is more focused. This isn't so much like Western massage where um, you're like, here's a muscle fiber out of place, let me get to it and like release it. This is more of an energetic pathway medicine, traditional Chinese medicine. So this is where you'd put pressure on different energy pathways called meridians. And meridians are like paths of energy that go through your body. There's like a map of them. So scientifically, there's no real anatomical structure. Like you can't cut open a body and see meridian lines. This is an energetic concept. So it's like the yin and the yang. They believe that certain lines bring the energy in, certain lines bring it out, and you have pain or like failure within your organs and stuff when those energy lines get blocked. And so that's when they would go in and they would use pressure to like unblock your energy lines.
And you're saying they could use their elbows or their feet or whatever to release that pressure?
Lymphatic drainage is the last of the modalities.
Lymphatic drainage. Ooh.
Encourages the natural drainage of the lymph fluid within your body. So your body is like naturally draining and like moving around lymph fluid. It can cause swelling, like if it gets blocked. You know, there's like certain disorders where like your lymph nodes are blocked. I mean, I think it's pretty known, like if you get cancer around a lymph node, that's pretty bad because it's easier to travel through your body because it's like, you know, this fluid that's going around through your body, whole body system. So it removes the waste from body tissues. And so that's like the job of the lymph fluid is to remove the waste. This is really helpful. Lymphatic massage is clinically, it's mostly used for people who actually have lymphedema. So that's where their body's not naturally like moving the fluid for them. So this is like a manual fluid movement.
Can I ask you something about dry brushing? Because one time I got a massage and they dry brushed me first.
Yeah.
And she said you should do this every day because it helps to do that same kind of lymphatic drainage, but obviously not in a, you know.
Lymphatic drainage massage is actually really, really, really soft. Like to the point where when you learn how to do it, you're like, are you sure I'm doing this right? Because you imagine that you would have to like dig your hand in to like move fluid around, right? Or like dig deep, but it's a very like superficial It's a very, very light massage. So the other thing I want to put a clip from one of my favorite movies. Did you ever watch it? It's called Kajillionaire.
I never watched it. I will.
Written and directed by Miranda July, who is the love of my life. There is a scene in that movie where the main character goes in for a massage. She doesn't go in for a massage. She accidentally finds herself about to receive a massage. And she lays on the table, and the way that she reacts to the massage therapist coming over and putting her hands on her is so perfectly relayed in this movie. I don't know. Miranda July is a genius, is how this she was able to capture this, but it is like the coolest scene. I love it so much. I'm going to put it as a link here for people to see. Because the way that the girl like recoils from just like the lightest amount of touch, it's like when I watch it, I'm like, I've had people on my table like that, and I've also been like that receiving, where just like the slightest amount of touch just feels so icky, and all she needs is somebody to just kind of hover over her a little bit. It's just such a beautiful scene, and I just really love it.
It
So
is definitely relatable, especially after leaving the cult, how tense and all that stress and sleep deprivation and all that anxiety just stored up after all those years.
so I would recommend that if you go in to get a massage, tell your therapist as much as you're willing to share as far as like, I've never had a massage. I'm kind of scared. I really don't want you to touch my hair. Like, tell them all of those things because if they don't know, they're just going to go into it like, okay, like they'll tell me, right? Because a lot of times I'll check in with someone and be like, is this pressure too hard? Because I can kind of see their body tensing up and they'll be like, yeah, just a little bit.
Should people tell their massage therapist?
Most
Or I don't
definitely.
want to be offensive, like they're not doing it right.
No, as a therapist, the whole point of it is for you on the table to be like reaping the benefits and whatever that means for you. Everybody is different. So the person before you could have been like, I need you to go deeper and like physically. I mean, I'm pretty small.
You're very strong.
I'm pretty strong, but I have had like really, really, really big clients who are like, 6.5 feet tall or however long. And like, I just physically couldn't there's just no possible way I could have ever like satisfied their need. So in those cases, I'm like, next time you should go see this person because they can get into that like deeper tissue. Everybody comes into that room from like a totally different perspective.
So you shouldn't be nervous about asking or telling them what you like. And it's okay if you cry. It's okay if you laugh. I think you should promote your business, your
Hmm.
massage therapy business.
No, girl.
No. Okay, never mind.
No, can I say what I do?
Of course. So
So,
Lindsay, what do you do? What is your actual title right now? What is your position?
so I am a licensed massage
Well,
therapist.
obviously, but I mean, what is your day-to-day job like? Because you have a really cool day-to-day job.
I have my dream job right now. I found a super awesome job where I do in-home massage therapy for people with disabilities.
That is so amazing. That is the perfect job for you. And I know that it makes you so happy because you can actually help people on a continuous basis and make those connections. And that weekly massage for them must be so beneficial. You are doing it in a way that is so beneficial to them as opposed to the way that we have viewed massage therapy before, or that I have viewed massage before. What else do you want to talk about?
Let's talk about the Murdochs.
Well, we haven't really released any episodes recently because we've been so distracted by life and by a very popular trial that is happening right now and I was going to say in our mom's hometown, but I don't think we should say that.
I think we say it.
Well, have you guys ever heard of the Alex Murdaugh trial happening in South Carolina right now?
Yes, I have.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Lindsay, for answering. for all of our listeners. So the trial started this week, and so me and Lindsay have been captivated by so many aspects of it. And we have personal connections to the town that everything is kind of happening in. Town close to our heart. It's a really interesting case. It's a really sad case. So me and Lindsay have been watching the trial and been kind of heavy about it. You know, it's really sad. We could have a whole episode about this. Anyway, you guys should, if you're interested in true crime, it's a really sad, interesting trial that's happening right now. It's supposed to go on for a while.
Yes. So if Tony and I seem distracted, it is because we are.
We are. All right, Lindsay, lead us out of here with a great spa massage therapist relaxation time.
Okay. Thank you all for being here today, for being present, for giving us the time and the space. I want you to take in one last big, deep breath and slowly open your eyes. And when you're ready, I want you to let out a big, beautiful
Boom, baby.